Hey there folks, Santee at the Arizona Ghostwriters here. I'm here with Dave Twigg and Dave Rodgers. We're going to do some shooting on the range today with historic firearms, correct?
Correct.
Oh boy.
And historic ammunition.
Really? Wow. So, me and the two Daves all met in the Arizona desert and each contributed some Old West guns to shoot. Dave Twigg is a former firearms instructor and writer for numerous gun magazines. He loaded some black powder cartridges to the same specifications as our Old Westians used because he wanted us to experience what it was like back then. Hey, I am all for that. So Dave, what kind of rounds did you load?
These are ballistic duplicates of the original factory ammunition. This is a 450 grain bullet. These are 505 grain bullets.
Okay.
Over 90 grains of black powder. And that's the original load. And this is close to the first load they brought out, which was a 473 grain cast lead bullet.
Okay.
Over 90 grains of black powder.
Oh my gosh. Dave Rodgers is an author and historian who is also an experienced outdoorsman and shooter.
Hi, I'm Dave Rodgers of the Frontier American Illustrated News. I'm holding today a St. Louis pattern plains rifle. Now this is a 54 caliber weapon and it was designed to bring down big game. It was a favorite for those who could get them, but it was one of many guns that were out there on the frontier. This weapon right now is loaded with 110 grains of 2F black powder with a 53 caliber patch ball sitting on top of it. I'm going to hand this off to my friend Santee and let him waylay whatever target he wants with this thing.
Now, why is this a myth versus reality? Well, recently while watching the TV show 1883, I noticed that none of the guns were actually recoiling when fired. Sure, I know that blanks don't have recoil to speak of, but in order to sell the experience of shooting one of these historic firearms, the actor needs to add recoil. It's easy to forget, and many of us need to be reminded from time to time. Then I watched some older westerns and found the lack of recoil shocking. I grew up not thinking about it at all, and now can't watch a western without looking for it. In the great sport of cowboy action shooting, the idea is to hit the targets as fast as you can to get the best score. Therefore, we see ammunition manufacturers making cartridges with reduced powder charges so they can get back on target quicker. In revolver cartridges, these projectiles head downrange at a minimum of 650 feet per second. The originals came in about 910 feet per second. SAS member Jedi Knight shoots black powder at matches and loads his with the same measurements as our forefathers did. He told me with practice you can get back on target quickly regardless of the recoil. His choice to compete with full black powder loads is based on keeping the spirit of the Old West alive. He wins a lot, by the way. Bravo, Jedi.
The model 1874 Sharps, but it was introduced in 1871. And I have read multiple books and multiple articles, and nobody's sure why they waited and finally named it the 1874 Action.
Shooting the Sharps was a treat because it's a rifle I've had my eye on for a long time. This brand of buffalo rifle gained popularity in the 20th century in the movie Quigley Down Under. Tom Selleck's character was shooting a 50-110 and did a good job showing the recoil of that powerful round.
Make sure it's tight to your shoulder, Santee.
Yeah, I know, Dave. I know how to shoot a gun. I've been shooting guns for a long time. Thank you very much.
Well, just make sure.
Okay. The 50-90 we were shooting was excellent. Due to the black powder smoke cloud, we couldn't always see if we hit what we were aiming at. Dave Rodgers targeted an 8-inch tall by 12-inch long granite block, and the bullet split it into 5 pieces. Next up was Dave Twigg's Winchester 73 chambered in .44-40, which was also amazing to shoot.
So the Winchester people, they have given it a name. They call it 1 of 1,000, and that's a good name.
It was originally, when introduced in 1873, the .44 Winchester centerfire. It became the .44-40 when Marlin built their first rifle chambered for this, and they didn't want to call it a Winchester. So they called it the .44-40 Marlin.
There you go. We rounded out the morning with some black powder revolvers. After feeling the recoil of those rounds, I seriously wonder who could have hit anything accurately fanning a 6-gun. Hollywood may underplay the recoil, but they make up for it by overplaying the impacts. According to Newton's laws of physics, if it's strong enough to knock the target off its feet, it would do the same to the shooter. So, getting shot with a shotgun isn't going to flip you over the back of a horse. But we audience members still find it satisfying when we see it. All in all, I think every enthusiast of the Wild West should experience shooting firearms like we did today. It will give you a better knowledge of what it was like for the pioneers, soldiers, hunters, and those other rapscallions whose firearms were the tools of their trade.
Hey there, Scooter. How you doing? What's the matter? You not on a buffalo hunt or something?
Yeah, I shot a 50 caliber sharps. It's just a little tender, you know what I mean? It's just...
You know, if you pull that into your shoulder, you'll have less of that.
Thanks, Dan. Folks, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.
And we'll see you on down the trail. God, it'll be better in a few days. First, what the hell are you doing touching my coffee?